Harper Wave and HarperAudio present Chaos Theory, Finding Meaning in the Madness One Bad Decision at a Time, by Leah McSweeney, read by the author. For my mother, Bunny, who supported me, challenged me, and loved me through it all. Introduction. Laws of Disorder. You may think my life looks like chaos. I'm not a rule follower, and to some people that looks like I'm being messy. I've always seen the world a little differently than those around me. Since the time I was a kid, whether I was walking the streets of our Chelsea neighborhood or studying at my posh private school uptown, I had a different take on what I observed. Sometimes that perspective has been the most powerful tool at my disposal, and sometimes it's been my downfall. And while I try to follow those instincts, I also need to try things on for size, literally. I'm the kind of girl who has to put on an outfit to know if it's right for me. Even if it's an epic dress with Little Kim's mugshot all over it. I've lived my life the same way, trying on decisions and experiences, even when the ensuing chaos felt like holy hell. At every turn, I've bucked expectations to live by my own rules. I've pushed back against the hopes of my parents, against the recommendations of rehab facilities and mental hospitals, against the status quo of the fashion industry, and against the limitations of my own self-worth to create a wild, unconventional, and beautiful life, tiki torches not included. That's not to say it's been easy. My road to success, motherhood, and my own little corner of fame, notoriety, has been anything but a straight line. I've had my face busted in by a cop while handcuffed, sold fake drugs at a jungle rave in Puerto Rico, and gotten in my own damn way more times than I care to admit. Through the mistakes and hardships, the triumphs and failures, I've learned a little something about controlling the chaos that seems to envelop me. Now, I harness its energy to serve my needs instead of letting it rule my life. When someone first told me about the idea of chaos theory, a mathematical theory stating that within the apparent randomness of chaotic systems, there are underlying patterns that lead to a kind of organization, I thought, holy shit, that's me. Listen, I'm not one to espouse mathematical theories. But what I'm learning through trial and error is that doing things your own way is a sort of philosophy. I am my own complex, chaotic system with a sense of purpose and order beneath what others perceive as disorder. Maybe you can relate. I've fought the pull of negative feedback loops and unhealthy and downright dangerous underlying patterns, but I've finally been able to make some sense of the chaos. And that, my friends, has been the key to changing everything. For years, it felt like a struggle just to exist. I was a prisoner to substances until I finally got sober. But once I had to live in my brain without the haze of booze or drugs to ease my pain, I faced a new set of challenges with my mental health. For a long time, I was frustrated that I had to deal with these issues, and I resented the commitment and attention they required. I tried everything to feel better. Meditation, 12-step meetings, juice cleanses and vegan diets, yoga and vigorous exercise. I visited churches and gurus. I saw witches and the finest doctors in Manhattan, all of whom treated me with a cocktail of elixirs. It was practically a full-time job. I was so desperate to feel better that I looked everywhere but inside myself. I've come to see that what makes me me is my strength to persevere and to live at my fullest expression no matter the consequence. And that means I have to accept all of myself, even the parts that give me the hardest time. I understand now that my fearlessness and ability to take creative and professional risks probably originates in the same wild part of my brain that has gotten me into trouble. My spirit and my struggles are deeply intertwined, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Ultimately, I've been able to achieve everything I have in my life by being...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?